Hi, I'm Maggie McGrath, Senior Editor at Forbes, and today we're going to be talking about some corporate trends and what's behind them and the terms that we use to describe them. And I'm thrilled to welcome to our virtual studio Rita Ernst. She's an organizational psychologist who has some really good insight on quiet quitting, quiet hiring, quiet firing, and why some of these terms might just be complete baloney.
I love that that is the intro, Maggie. Thank you. Yes. Are these things real? That is a wonderful question to be asking.
I mean, and I've you and I've spoken before, and I said to you before, I got an email and it used the term quiet hiring, and I thought, what in the world is that? And also, my second thought was that does not sound good. But let's start with that first question. What is quiet hiring?
So, quiet hiring, when it was originally introduced, was introduced by a business consultant that was working inside of an organization. And what they were talking about, this organization was making some key pivots, had some new positions that they needed to fill. You know, the marketplace has been crazy, right? It's been really difficult to find talent in the marketplace and attract them into the workplace. And so the idea was, maybe we should be looking for the best and the brightest inside of our own doors, the people that already know us, that have all the insider view, and bring those people into these opportunities. Maybe it's a growth opportunity for them. It's a place to shift our talent a little bit. And oh, by the way, if you're going to be replacing a technology or phasing out of some area of your business, that's fewer positions that you then have to pay all those termination expenses to when you right size or downsize your organization.
It solves a need right now for sure. It is a weird job market. I've actually heard economists kind of say it is a weird economy right now. We see low levels of unemployment, and yet we also see a lot of headlines about corporate layoffs. So some employers might be in this position that you described. They have an open position. They can't get anyone in, so they might as well promote or hire from within. But the reason I had a negative reaction the first time I heard this term is it sounds to me like something that's been happening for years, which is a friend will call me and be like, I got a promotion. And I'll say, congratulations. And they'll say, oh, not in title and not in salary, just in what I'm doing. More was put on my plate. Are companies at risk of falling into that trap of just loading their best and their brightest with more responsibilities and without appropriate compensation?
There's absolutely a wrong way to do that, and you just named it. And it is important, and I come from a background in human resources, but it is important to recognize roles and responsibilities, to value them appropriately in the marketplace, and to make sure that you are compensating and total rewarding your talent in those positions appropriately if you want to hold on to them, and not have them learn from you and then get stolen away to take all that knowledge and use it somewhere else. So if people and let me just agree with you a second on what you said. Like I had the exact same sort of and negative feeling around quiet hiring, because I really thought that that's what they were going to be alluding to when I first heard the term, and I looked it up. I thought they were going to be talking about this idea of promoting people and not giving them the appropriate compensation and recognition and title and things to go with it, which was not the original person's definition that she provided. So I kind of feel like she was just riding the quiet trend. We had quiet quitting, and then we had quiet firing, and so it's kind of a buzzy thing to have that quiet in front of it. But in those first two examples, there was sort of this hidden agenda element. So it's like, well, what's the hidden agenda here? That's what I was looking for. That's what I was listening for. And anytime there's a hidden agenda, that usually means something good is not going on. But her pure intention was really to do it right, to look and value people appropriately as you're moving them in. But it is not a new trend for businesses to give new responsibilities, to load on the work. I actually had two coaching clients in the past year that happen to be females. I think women suffer this a lot, who were clearly, when I put on my HR hat, sitting in roles that were 1 and 2 levels beyond the title that they were given and the compensation that they were given, because they had grown. They had sort of stepped in and grown their role and grown their contribution and taken on all of these things. And then all of a sudden they're sort of tapping their foot saying, well, but wait, when is the title? When is the, and so when you do that, I can tell you, because I'm coaching people in that space, you are losing their engagement. You are losing their trust. You are losing their commitment. You are having them question whether or not this is a company that is continuing to be right for them. So it is very important that when you're doing this, moving around, the other thing that we talked about earlier that I think is so important, Maggie, is it also matters whether or not the person wants to make that move. If you're just forcing people, then you are basically creating a big exit sign for them. Mm-hmm. So it is extremely important that you are having conversation and saying, this is an opportunity. This is why I think this would be valuable to you. How do you feel about doing that kind of work? How do you feel about this? Does this feel like an opportunity to you? Are you interested in doing this? If quiet hiring is going behind the scenes and mapping people into jobs and then walking in and saying, guess what? This isn't your job anymore. We're going to move you over here and do this, and this is your new job. I mean, you may have the right to do that as a organization, but you are not going to be bringing the hearts and minds. You're just going to get the physical show up in that position.